Hello friends, good afternoon. Myself Professor N.S. Passport, KK of College of Agriculture Biotechnology. So today we discuss about the TCA cycle. So what is meant by TCA cycle? TCA means tricarboxylic acid cycle. So it is also known as Krebs cycle. So we know that in the TCA cycle there is a oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to carbon dioxide and water. We know that this acetyl coenzyme is formed by pyruvic acid is decarboxylated and to form the acetyl coenzyme A, and then this acetyl coenzyme A is converted into carbon dioxide and water. Then TCA cycles is the central metabolic pathway in between this glycolysis and the Krebs cycle and electron transport chain. So it is the central metabolic pathway. The TCA cycle is the final common oxidative pathway for carbohydrate, fats and amino acids. So through the TCA cycle, this complex organic compound, that is carbohydrate, fats and amino acids, they are oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. Then TCA cycle supplies energy and also provides many intermediates required for the synthesis of amino acid, glucose and heme molecules. So we know that this through TCA cycle there is a oxidation of this acetyl coenzyme A. So with this oxidation there is some energy is released in the form of ATP, and some intermediates which are forms which are required for the synthesis of amino acid and glucose, they are very necessary for this synthesis. Then TCA cycle is the most important central pathway connecting almost all the individual's metabolic pathway. So it is the central metabolic pathway in between this photosynthesis, respiration and another metabolic processes of the individuals. The TCA cycle is most important central pathway which connecting all the metabolic pathways which are occurs in the plant. For example, photosynthesis, so it is central. So protein synthesis, it is central. So likewise, it is TCA is acts as a central pathway for various metabolic activities. Then what is the meaning of TCA cycle? That is the citric acid cycle or TCA cycle, or it is called as also tricarboxylic acid cycle. Essentially involves the oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to carbon dioxide and water. So what is the location of TCA cycle? So TCA cycle is occurs in mitochondria or the matrix of the mitochondria in close proximity to the electron transport chain. Then what are the reactions of TCA cycle? So we know that this acetyl coenzyme is formed by the oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate or pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A by pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex. Okay, so PDH means pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex. So this is the enzymes which convert pyruvic acid into coenzyme A, acetyl coenzyme A. So this step is a connecting link between glycolysis and TCA cycle. So up to the glycolysis there is a formation of two molecules of pyruvic acid. Then this two pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Then actually this acetyl coenzyme is enters into the Krebs cycle. So this TCA cycle, it is the connective link. This step is a connecting link between the glycolysis and TCA cycle. Then what are the reactions of TCA cycle? So in the first step there is a formation of citrate. So we know that oxaloacetate acid is the first, which is the intermediate product which are already present in mitochondria. They are condensed with the acetyl coenzyme A to form citrate, and this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme citrate synthetase, and this reaction is inhibited by ATP NADH or citrate or competitive inhibitor of oxaloacetate. Okay, if these compounds they are exist, then they are inhibited these reactions. Then step 2 and 3, so citrate is isomerized to isocitrate. So citrate is isomerized to isocitrate by the enzyme achotinase. So citrate and isocitrate both they are isomeric to each other. So Isocitrate is this isomeric form of citrate, and citrate is the isomeric form of isocitrate. So these they are interconvertible, and this reaction is categorized by the enzyme achotinase. This is achieved by two-stage reactions of dehydration followed by hydration. So firstly there is a removal of water molecule from this citrate, and again in the next step there is addition of this water molecule to citrate. So through this there is a formation of an intermediate compound that is known as a cis-achotinase. So cis-achotinase is the intermediate in between citrate and isocitrate. Then step 4 and 5, formation of alpha ketoglutarate. So isocitrate dehydrogenase catalyze the conversion of the reaction is called as oxidative decarboxylation of isocitrate to oxalosuccinate and then alpha ketoglutaric acid. So these isocitrate which are formed, they are oxidatively decarboxylated, and there is a formation of oxalosuccinate, and from this oxalosuccinate there is a formation of alpha ketoglutarate. The formation of NADH and the liberation of carbon dioxide occurs at this stage. Okay, so carbon dioxide molecule is released at this step from this isocitrate. Then this stimulated by isocitrate, NAD and magnesium, ATP and calcium links with the contraction and inhibited by the NADH and ATP. Then step 6, the conversion of alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl coenzyme A. So it occurs through the oxidative decarboxylation. This is the third oxidative decarboxylation. So there is a removal of oxygen and with the addition of coenzyme A. This reaction is categorized by the enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, and alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase is a multi-enzyme complex, and at this stage of TCA cycle second NADH is produced and the second carbon dioxide is released. Then in the step 7 there is a formation of succinate. So succinyl coenzyme is converted into succinate by the enzyme succinate thiokinase. This reaction is coupled with the phosphorylation of GDP to GTP. So GDP means guanine diphosphate is converted into guanine triphosphate. Here succinyl coenzyme is converted into succinic acid. Then this is a substrate level phosphorylation, means that single substrate is phosphorylated and they are converted into succinyl coenzyme is converted into succinic acid by the addition by the removal of one phosphate, and this phosphate is reacts with the GDP to form the GTP molecule. So GTP is converted to ATP by the enzyme nucleoside diphosphate kinase. Then GTP is converted into ATP by this enzyme nucleoside diphosphate kinase. Then step 8, conversion of succinate to fumarate. So succinic acid is oxidized by succinate dehydrogenase to form the fumaric acid, and this reaction is resulted in the formation of FADH2, and this FADH2 is nothing but flavonine adenine dinucleotide. Then in the step 9, formation of malate, the enzyme that is fumarase catalyzes the reaction and they convert this fumaric acid to malic acid in addition with the addition of water molecule to it. Okay, so up to this is the step 9. There is a formation of malic acid at the end of this step 9. Then step 10, that is conversion of malate to oxaloacetate. So malate is then oxidized to oxaloacetic acid by the malate dehydrogenase. The third and final synthesis of NADH occurs at this stage, and the oxaloacetate is generated, which can combine with another molecule of acetyl coenzyme A and continue the Krebs cycle or TCA cycle. So up to this there is a conversion of that acetyl coenzyme A to carbon dioxide and water, and again regeneration of oxaloacetic acid. So this is the graphical representation of this TCA cycle. So oxaloacetic acid, this pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A with a oxidative decarboxylation there is addition of coenzyme A and removal of carbon dioxide in presence of pyruvic acid dehydrogenase. Then citrate is removal of water molecule converted into cis acotinase. Then cis acotinase is again there is a addition of this water molecule and formation of isocitrate, and then isocitrate is decarboxylated. There is a formation of oxalosuccinate, and from this oxalosuccinate again there is a decarboxylation and formation of alpha ketoglutarate. From this alpha ketoglutarate acid is again oxidatively decarboxylated, and there is a formation of carbon dioxide with a formation of NAD and NADH2, and then succin coenzyme is converted into succinate. This is a substrate level phosphorylation. GTP is formed with the help of GDP plus inorganic phosphate. Then succinate is converted into fumarate with a formation of FADH2. Then fumaric acid is oxidized to malic acid in presence of enzyme fumarase. And lastly, malate is converted into oxaloacetic acid or oxaloacetate with the formation of NAD and NADH2. So this formation of oxaloacetic acid is nothing but a regeneration, and there is a completion of TCA cycle. So this is the brief about the representation of TCA cycle. Then regeneration of oxaloacetate. So TCA cycle is basically involve the oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A to carbon dioxide with the simultaneous regeneration of oxaloacetate. There is no net consumption of oxaloacetate or any other intermediate in this cycle. So whatever the intermediate they are formed during this TCA cycle, there is no any net consumption of this intermediate. They regenerate for the acceptance of acetyl coenzyme A and to continue this TCA cycle. Then what is the significance of TCA cycle? So this TCA cycle, it is nothing but it is a complete oxidation of acetyl coenzyme A. Then second significance is that in the process of this TCA cycle there is a generation of ATP, final common oxidative pathway for carbohydrate, glucose and proteins, integration of major metabolic pathways, fat is burned on the wick of carbohydrates, excess carbohydrates are converted as a neutral fat, no net synthesis of carbohydrates from fat, carbon skeleton of amino acids finally enter the TCA cycle. Whatever the carbon skeleton of amino acid is, finally they are enter into the TCA cycle, and then they are oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. So this is about the significance of the TCA cycle. Then what is the requirement of O2 by TCA cycle? Means we know that the first step of glycolysis is without any requirement of oxygen, but TCA is required the oxygen for complete oxidation of that acetyl coenzyme into carbon dioxide and water. So what is the requirement? Then there is no any direct participation of O2 in TCA cycle. They operates only under aerobic conditions. So this is due to the NAD and FAD required for the operation of the cycle and can be regenerated in the respiratory chain only in presence of oxygen. So therefore citric acid cycle is strictly aerobic. So there is a conversion of NAD and NADH2 and Fa2 FADH2. So they are only occurs at the in the presence of oxygen. So there is therefore citric acid cycle is strictly aerobic. Then what is the energetics of TCA cycle? So we know that there is a formation of ATP in this TCA cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle. So oxidation of 3-NADH2 by ETC coupled with oxidative phosphorylation result in the formation of 9 ATP. So per NADPH2 there are 3 ATPs, so 9 ATPs are formed. Then FADH2 leads to formation of 2 ATP, one substrate level phosphorylation, that is that formation of that is succinyl coenzyme A to succinate. So that is substrate level, and there is a formation of GTP, and GTP is converted into ATP. Thus a total 12 ATP are produced from one acetyl coenzyme A. So this is the energetics of the TCA cycle, and when these two acetyl coenzyme they are enters, then total is 24. 24 is the, that is the energetics of this TCA cycle. Then this is the figure: acetyl coenzyme citrate, isocitrate, alpha glutaric acid, succinyl coenzyme succinate, fumarate, malate, and oxaloacetate. So there is a total NADH2, FADH2, and GTPs are they are formed during this process. So regulation of TCA cycle. So there are three enzymes which regulate this TCA cycle. First, that is citrate synthase. Second is isocitrate dehydrogenase, and third one is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. So these three enzymes they can regulate this TCA cycle. So citrate synthesis is inhibited by ATP, NADH, and acyl coenzyme A and succinyl coenzyme A. Isocitrate dehydrogenase is activated by ADP and inhibited by ATP and NADH. Alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase is inhibited by succinyl coenzyme A and NADH, and availability of ADP is very important for TCA cycle to proceed further. So transamination, what is the meaning of transamination? Transamination is the process where an amino acid is transferred into transfers its amino group to a keto group and itself gets converted to a keto acid. So it is called as transamination reaction. The formation of alpha ketoglutarate acid or alpha ketoglutarate and oxaloacetate occurs by this mechanism. So this is the reference which are refer for to compile this topic. So thank you friends for thanks for hearing